Okay, Joe Soto here again with you, and we're going to talk about how you can generate over 1,000 emails inside of 3 days with approximately $100 in advertising on Facebook. And you know, it's exciting because these are the exciting times right now on Facebook advertising. You cannot get results like this anywhere else, and very few people know how to do this. Particularly agencies. You know, I know a lot of agency owners. I've been an agency owner since the end of 2009. I've owned 3 different types of agencies. One was purely social media. I owned a mobile marketing agency, and I now own a hybrid marketing agency that focuses primarily on social media and Facebook advertising. And I've met probably over 100 different agency owners. And I know that what I'm about to show you, most do not know how to do. They don't know the sequence to do it. They don't know some of the small little details to be able to do it. I'm going to show you how to do it and be able to do it with every type of client and any type of market. And let's get started. So first of all, let me show you some examples of real Facebook advertising campaigns that are around what I'm talking about here, which is giving away contests and are using contests and giveaways. So, first example, and I'll give you the steps to this here in a moment, so don't worry about taking notes yet, and this will all be in your handout as well, a PDF handout, but I will use a whiteboard in just a moment and write out all the steps and talk you through them. First, here's an example of a local restaurant that's based in Ashburn, Virginia. You can go to their Facebook page today and you can see all the Facebook advertising that they're doing. You can see all their posts because every single post pretty much is an ad now. And in this case, you'll see that on August 22nd of this past summer, Jason, who's the owner, ran a patio party giveaway, we called it. And you know, really the text and the copy to this is really important. And so is the text that's in the image, but we'll talk more about that later. But you'll see a pattern in all of these posts for all of these clients. Now here's a little caveat. People ask me this all the time. They say, Joe, will you take competing local businesses in the same market? So for example, if Parallel Wine and Whiskey Bar is my client in Ashburn, Virginia, would I take on another restaurant and bar that's in Ashburn, Virginia? And the answer is no. Not while this client will work with me. I'll give them some exclusivity, particularly if they're willing to pay the premium monthly retainer fee of a minimum of $1,500, or they're going to pay for an expensive consulting agreement with me. But I won't sign up a competing business. Now, they don't know the real reason why, but the real reason is because I don't want to step on my own marketing toes. I don't want to be competing with myself, trying to get the same audience and same patrons in the same market area to go to that restaurant. So whether it's a organic dog food place or a hair salon or a restaurant, I don't want to have a competitor too close to the other one because you're going to step on your own marketing efforts. So keep that in mind, but use it to your advantage by pitching it as they can get exclusivity for the fee that they're paying. And you show them examples like this, they don't want their competitors to get their hands on this. In this particular case, one of his groomsmen in his wedding opened up a bar and restaurant on the other side of town that he competes somewhat with. Not really competitive with because they do have a little bit different audience, but close enough to where his goal was to really outshine him. And so I wasn't about to sign somebody up that was local. So in this case, you can see here the campaign is the patio party giveaway. What a great value, right? So you're giving away a patio party for friends up to 20 people. He's going to throw in a bunch of select appetizers. You can have a party with your friends in the patio. You can throw in a $100 gift card to help offset maybe drinks and things like that because you can't promote free alcohol in Virginia. If this was in, say, for example, Minnesota, where you can promote free alcohol in your advertisements or discounted alcohol, you could say you're going to give up to give some free drink tickets, which is what we did for another patio party program. So you can see here, it reached a lot of people. Even organically, it reached over 25,000 people. But you can see here, total reach was over 47,000 people, and that was our goal, was local reach, but also to collect email addresses. You can see that we had over 1,800 reactions, which means likes, comments, or shares on Facebook. and 2,600 clicks to the link on the post, which is powerful, right? So I drove 2,600 people to the landing page, which I don't have a screenshot of because the contest is over with, but to a landing page, which I'll show you how to get that set up in a moment, for pennies on the dollar, but to a landing page where they entered in their email address. That was our goal, to collect emails with this. And it got the sideline goal, which was, wow, we got a ton of reach, ton of buzz in the marketplace. It crushed sales that week. July and August was this particular business's 2 biggest months of sales in 5 years. So what did we do in July? Well, we had another giveaway, which was free brunch for a year, where he collected 1,000 emails in. And let me show you right now. I'll show you the example. So here on this next slide, you'll see it shows that for the patio party giveaway, if you look closely, it shows 1,300 plus emails collected for the patio party giveaway and 997 emails collected for the campaign prior. Total ad spend $100 per campaign. One was in July and one was in August. And in case you're wondering if that's true, because you're wondering about the dates, if you look really close, you can see the dates of when we were announcing the winners right there inside of Facebook. Thank you, sir. Much appreciated. Thank you. So you can see here in 2 months' time, we've added over 2,000 email addresses, and for 2 different contests and giveaways for a local restaurant. I'm going to take a drink. It was nice enough to have a shake brought in for me. Thanks, chef. Okay, so I'm going to keep going, show you the next one. Now, I had just got done showing you how to place an ad on Facebook in the previous module, how to get your clients' results with Facebook advertising. Here you're seeing that we ran a contest and giveaway for that same business where we gave away 50 hair bows. Now, you're probably learning more about hair bows than you really care to know, but 50 hair bows in 50 different colors was a $400 value to the consumer. Now, if you do the math at $3.99 a piece times 50, the value was over $400. So it was a tremendous giveaway. Now that's the key to these giveaways. They have to be mega giveaways. They have to be massively perceived as valuable. The patio party for 20 friends, free appetizers, and $100 to go towards drinks, that's a lot of value. For a hair bow company, and I'm going to show you an example of a salon in a minute. I'm going to show you an example of a couple different businesses. For this particular business, it was giving away hair bows, 50 of them. Now, she could give away, 200 or 100, but she said 50 will be perceived as a lot of value. It's $400 value. Now, the actual cost of those hair bows to this particular business is not even a fraction of that $400, so it's not an expensive giveaway. Same with the restaurant. The giveaway cost to give away some free appetizers is just food cost and some space. What you didn't see was the fine print on the landing page that said you can't have the patio party on a weekend. It had to be a Monday through a Thursday. So that way he's bringing people to the restaurant on the day when he's not already packed on the patio. So there was some fine print that people don't even care about. They just sign up, they want to win. So this ran for 3 days. Yes, it reached 94,000 people. You can see down at the bottom, you see the two different colors of oranges. On the left side, that represents organic reach. On the right side, that's how much of the total reach was paid. So yeah, you got to pay to play on Facebook. There are some things you can do on Facebook where you don't have to pay. So for example, if we didn't pay, we would have been maybe happy with 45,000 people reached on Facebook. But by paying, we took it to the next level. We took it to 94,000 people on Facebook. And so you can see here, she's also, and again, you see a common pattern here. We're using a website called WooBox. If you go to woobox.com, you'll see that this is a Facebook-approved application that allows people to use an app to collect email addresses, to run sweepstakes, to poll your audience, and it collects your data from the polling. So you don't have to use SurveyMonkey and Constant Contact and use lead pages. You don't have to use 4 different resources to be able to get results. In this case, you can just use WooBox. So I like WooBox, and there's a couple other reasons why. I like WooBox, I'll explain in a moment. But in this case, you can see here, there's two ways to enter. Number one is to like the post and then enter here to win. That's why she got a lot of likes. In this case, she only got 278 comments, I say only, and 215 shares. But the 2,300 likes was because that's one of the ways, it's one of the things that they had to do in order to enter into the contest. Now the reason why, because we go, why would you choose that? Why wouldn't you say, Joe, have them comment or share and then enter to win? Why the likes? And I'll tell you why. Because, in fact, I'll show you why. Because when someone likes your post, that doesn't mean they like your page. And this is a big miss for businesses. And I'm even going to guess it's a miss on yours, if you do any type of advertising or get posts. So let's just look at Girly Boutique for a second. I'm going to pull up the actual Facebook page. $81,000 likes, 900 of them this week. Not too bad. And you'll see here, I'm just going to go down to one of the posts that that's been paid. Now she doesn't pay for every single post because she posts multiple times per day. But here's an example of one that's reached 2,500 people so far at 54 likes. If I click on the people that like. Now all I did, in case I went too fast, is I clicked on this link that shows me that these 2 people and 54 other people liked this post. This is how you instantly add potentially dozens if not hundreds of people to your Facebook page without having to pay for it, other than through the ad. And you see all these people that it says invite, 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 and then this person likes. That's because these people that you see the highlighted button invite next to their name, they actually liked the post because they saw it as an ad, but they don't like the page. They don't know it. They're scrolling on their phone and they see the post pull up and they think, oh, I must like the page already because I wouldn't see the post, so they like the post. Unfortunately, the business owner, and probably you if you've ran ads before or you get a lot of likes, and you've ran ads, you don't even know it yourself. You think just because someone liked the page, they liked your post, they must also like your page, and it's not the case. So I can literally just go down this list and click invite, and look, it says invite to like Girly Boutique. So that person, Mary, she just got a notification in her Facebook page that says you have been invited by Girly Boutique to like their page. Now she's already liked a post of ours. That makes her highly qualified and likely to also like the page. I'm going to click invite, and I can literally just scroll up and down. You can see this one person's been invited and hasn't liked it yet. And I can invite dozens of people, right? Look at this. These people still haven't liked the page. They liked the post, they didn't like the page. So just with a few clicks, you can see here I'm adding, 20 or so or more likes. And click on see more because the list goes on, right? In this case, there's only 54 likes. But you can imagine, going back to the PowerPoint, I can get back to it. Hang on. Where's it go? Where'd it go? It's hiding. Hold on a second. Here we go. If I go back to this, on this case, there was 2,300 likes. She grew, and this is a side note, I know she grew over 2,000 likes the week that we ran this 3-day campaign. Because we went through all 2,300 people that were newly liked people, or people that newly liked the post, and we invited them all to like the page as well. So that's growing the Facebook page count. It's just a side note tip. I wasn't really here to teach that part, but I wanted to give you that as an added benefit because most people miss it. It's the fastest way to grow your likes on your Facebook. And don't think your ad will grow your likes as much as it will you manually doing some of that work. Okay. And now, you can look here, you can even see, Facebook right below the post here. This is something hilarious. You see where it says get more likes, comments, and shares? That's Facebook advertising to the admin saying, hey, boost this post for $10 and reach up to 1,900 people. Well, Facebook, I've outsmarted you and I've reached not 1,900 people, but 94,000 people because I've ran the ad behind the scenes, not in front on the feed by hitting the boost button. I've gone behind the scenes and I've boosted this the right way. And you can see here now, so what's the ultimate result of this? Because what was the goal? The goal here wasn't reach. You go, wow, that's silly, Joe. You said that exposure, can lead to more customers. Yeah, that's true. But we really wanted to, instead of getting just exposure, we really wanted to build the email list. So did we do it? We did it. We spent $139 on this ad over 4 days. It actually ran for 4 days, which It cost a little extra money, but not much. And the reason why we did it is because our per engagement spend was so low. So we decided to extend it to a 4th day. It was originally set for 3 days to be about $100. And then we ran $35 a day. And you see here it says 4 cents per engagement. Would you pay 4 cents to get someone to interact with your post and to potentially become an email lead? You sure would, especially if it resulted in 2,000 emails. So in this case, it wasn't generating 1,000 email subscribers. We generated 2,000 emails with a 4-day campaign and $139. And you can see here, this is the inside of WooBox, a little screenshot I did that shows that there was 5,600 people who visited the landing page, and we converted about 40% of them, over 2,000 emails collected that we then merged over, because you can export them out of WooBox, and we exported them right into, she uses, I think, MailChimp for her newsletter program. And then here's the key. She announced the winner first to the email list. Now, I'm going to say that again because that isn't written here. She announced the winner via email to the email list first, before announcing the winner on Facebook, because that got her an open rate of almost 100%. So it's a little sneaky trick that you can do to go, how do I get 2,000 people to open my email that's 2,000 recently subscribed? You put in the subject line, 50 hairbow winner announcement, and everyone opens it up. And then you use that opportunity to remarket to them, which she did by offering them an extra 20%, because she said everybody's a winner. Here's the winner. She actually announced the names, and congratulations, but everybody wins because for this weekend only, I'm giving 20% off my entire store. Just use this code. And she got thousands of dollars in sales by announcing the winner strategically. So everything that we do has a strategic purpose. Like I said, you better have a plan to succeed in these campaigns, or you'll definitely be planning to fail and you'll wonder what happened. So I want to keep going. Here's another one. This was a restaurant, and I'm going to give you several restaurant examples because we happen to be focusing on a lot of local restaurants recently. And the reason is they're pretty easy to get lift for. I mean, that's the truth. People say, why are you focusing on restaurants? Because most of them suck at marketing. I mean, that's the truth. And so we can help them get financial lift and turn them around. In this case, this was a restaurant that was newly opening. And in a future module, I'm going to talk about some proven strategies to land local clients. Because this client came to me and they were getting ready to launch. I started working with them a month before they started to open. And we did a grand opening giveaway. And they didn't give one where it was like free food for a year or anything like that. They just wanted to give away a feast for 4. And they actually have a menu item that's called the feast on their menu, which is like $75 per person. And it's like a prefix meal. And it's a $320 value if they gave that away to you and 3 of your friends, or 4 people. So they gave away the feast for 4. Look, as you can see here, they're using WooBox again. Trackable link, tailored to them on WooBox. And they ran this for 3 days. And they didn't spend even $100. They spent, I think it was $60, because this is one of my stubborn clients. Stubborn because they won't do Facebook Live. I've been trying to get them to do Facebook Live. It was difficult for them to get, they don't have very many food pictures. It was difficult for them to agree to giving a giveaway because they didn't know if that would hurt their brand, but you know what? It helped their brand. They had a very successful launching week. It got their word out and got them exposure about their grand opening. 32,000 people. And oh, by the way, if you look up Marshall, Virginia has like less than 2,000 people in the town. This is, I think there's one stoplight in the whole town where this restaurant is located. They do have a really good bakery across the street and a really good butcher shop down the street, but this restaurant is in the middle of nowhere, Virginia. I mean, literally there's towns about 15 miles away that they have to pull from. And so reaching 32,000 people was fantastic for them. But more importantly, what was the result we were going for? Besides local exposure, which was the main result, the number 2 thing was collecting emails so they can start their restaurant with an email list from week 1. $60 total ad spend over 3 days, 1,100, you can see it here circled, 1,100 entries, which was emails collected, which they also use MailChimp, coincidentally, got transitioned over. So 2,400 visits, we converted almost, about 45% that comes out to. Pretty awesome. Okay, so then you say, well, Joe, going to the next slide, what about a restaurant that isn't launching or doesn't have the sizzle that some of those other places have. So I picked specifically for this example a local diner. Now, if you go and look up the Leesburg Diner, you'll see it's in the middle of small town Virginia. A little bit bigger than Marshall, but still fairly small. It's an outer suburb of Washington, D.C., about 30, 40 miles out, in an old historic downtown area where you literally either are going to get fined for what parking you do find out on the streets, or you got to park in a parking garage to walk to it. So it's hard to get customers to go out of their way to go to this little historic downtown location. And so they hired us to help, maybe educate people outside of their little area that there's a diner even there that serves breakfast all day, by the way. That is a much better choice than IHOP or some of these other breakfast places that really just serve, frozen food reheated up. So they do have good food here, but it is nothing special. And what I mean by that is their menu is very basic. Eggs Benedict, or biscuits and gravy, or French toast. And you don't got a lot of options. The menu is one page, and it's just good down-home cooking. And so we said we want to give away free breakfast for a year. Now, at first, the owner says, free breakfast for a year, you're crazy. I said, come on, let's think about it for a second. So you give away free breakfast for a year, not just for one person, but for them and 3 of their friends. Now it looks like value, right? Who wants to go eat breakfast alone? Not very many people. They want to take friends. And who wants to do it in a group? Everybody. But they're not going to come every single month for a year, because that's what it is. It's once a month for a year. You can come have a free breakfast with you and 3 of your friends. If they did, it's a $670 value, which is a mega giveaway. It looks like a huge value. If they did all 4 come every month for a year, total food cost of this is less than $300. So this promotion that got massive exposure, tell me a radio or a radio or a print ad that for a couple $100 can get you 27,000 people reached and 1,600 clicks, which is engagement, and over 800 reactions. I have 8,000 here. That's an error. Jeez. I'll change that for the handout. But 775 emails collected. That's how many they got from this. 775 emails collected. And you can see that this was also like this post and enter to win, because we wanted to increase their Facebook fan base. You can see there was 840 likes, which almost all translated into an email collected, because most of the people that like the page are doing the whole entry thing. They're liking it and they're entering to win. And for a diner, now I know some of you are going, well, how much you spent on that? Well, we spent $100, and it's not quite 1,000 emails, but it's pretty darn close for a business that most people would say is hopeless. But we're taking this diner to the next level, and our goal is to increase traffic. So we actually did another post for them, which I'll show you in a minute, that helped them. But in this case, I wanted to show you some of the metrics. $105 spent over 3 days. You can see it right here, right in front of you. This is taken right out of our agency's ad manager. 6 cents per engagement. Pretty good. It's a pretty small fee. That's 6 cents per post engagement. Most of those turned into an email, 777 emails collected. And then we ran another ad. It cost a little bit more, and I don't mean more. We didn't spend more than $100 on this, but it costs more per click and per engagement, which I don't have those metrics right here in front of me. But I wanted to give you the screenshot so you can see a different type of ad for the same type of restaurant. In this case, we were trying to get people to claim, and it shows expired because I grabbed the screenshot after it expired to show you, 20% off lunch. And this is, everybody can set up, can do an offer on Facebook. Just go to your Facebook feed of your page, and you'll see right next to publish, and where you could add a photo or a video, it says add an event or an offer. And you can create your own offers. But what was the result here? So the result was, well, the goal was to get new customers to the diner, right? Sounds simple. So we reached 10,000 people almost with the ad, as you can see. But the most important result was we had 52 new people who came into that business that week. Now, I'm going to show you something. This is kind of impromptu, but I created this little handout called Lifetime Value of a Customer. Okay, so, whoa, it's pulling up all kinds of, all kinds of documents here. Okay, lifetime value of a customer. So you can see this here. So, and this was of a restaurant guest. You can figure it out for whatever local client you want, but in this case, this is what I use. I use this to help sell a client, and I use this to help convince a client of certain promotions we want to run. This helps the business owner think like a business owner more, and it's amazing how many people don't. So, because you want to say, well, what does 52 people mean to me, right? 52 offers redeemed in that campaign. And I'll tell you where this came from. One time, of one of the restaurants that I actually personally owned, the GM of the restaurant said once, when we had like 25 people come in an evening from a post that we did that day, I asked him, was the post successful? He says, I don't know. We had like 20-some people come in off of that advertisement. I said, well, that's really successful. And he kind of went, I guess. And I went, wait, hold on a second. What are those people worth to you, right? So this is the formula that I have mapped out to help people really see this as an example. And I have an example of it down below. You can fill in the blanks with any customer by asking them what their average sale is or what their average ticket is if you're talking to a restaurant. In this case, is what's one happy customer worth? And it walks you through it. Average sale per person, let's say that it was $12. So, the average ticket of somebody eating at that particular, let's say at the diner, is $12. And let's say that they're a happy customer, and so they come a couple times a month. The sales per year would be $288. People don't eat alone. They actually eat with 2.3 people when they go out to dine. That's the statistics in restaurants, of course. It comes out to $660. That's actually what the value of that customer is if you just singled that out. But you got to take into account that the average number of referrals that person will refer is actually higher than one, but one will stick. So they might refer 5 friends if they have a happy experience, but one will be somebody who sticks and duplicates, creating another $660 in revenue. Gross sales over the lifetime of a customer, which by the way is 5 years. How do we know that? Because in the restaurant industry that I've studied and became an expert in, like I told you to become when you're deciding on your niche, I learned that 5 years is about the norm of restaurant customer loyalty, because people move away, they get married, for whatever reason, they go off to college or they retire and they move, whatever. Employment changes, average is 5 years. So average sales over life of a customer is $3,300. Now remember, they referred at least one person during that time frame. That's just one. Now most people are going to refer a whole lot more that stick, but let's just say they referred one during those 5 years that stuck as a satisfied customer of the same restaurant that they loved. That means that customer was worth $6,600. Okay, now total value of 10 happy customers, $66,000. Now, in that 1 week for the diner that I just showed you, we had 52 offers redeemed in the restaurant. 52 people came in the restaurant, new to the restaurant, who showed their Facebook coupon, which translated into them becoming a new customer who got 20% off the meal, just 20% off their meal, which they still made money off this person. But that doesn't matter because the acquisition cost was so low, right? Approximately $100 to get 52 people to come into that restaurant new. And so think about it. That's hundreds of thousands of dollars in potential revenue long term if those 52 people were all satisfied customers, which is why it's so important to have great service and great food. Otherwise, it won't even take a restaurant on. So what's the cost of an unhappy customer? You just reverse engineer it. So loss of a happy customer, $6,600. How many people they'll tell? Well, that number's 12 on average. Percentage of those negative referrals who don't become a customer because they actually take it, they don't take it with a grain of salt, and they go, 3 of the 12 will say, I'm not going there then because Josh said it was a bad idea. And the cost of 3 lost customers is $19,000 to the restaurant, plus the person who was unhappy in the first place. The total cost of an unhappy customer is $26,000 to that restaurant. So if you got 52 restaurant customers that come into your restaurant, this is how I talk to a business owner, by the way, of a restaurant, you better damn sure make sure they're happy when they leave, because that could be potentially worth $6,000 to your restaurant. And if they're unhappy, you just cost yourself potentially $26,000 over the next 5 years. And over $200,000 if there was 10 unhappy customers. So when someone gripes to me and says, Joe, I don't know if 50 redeemed offers is a good turnout, I show them that sheet to help give them a reality check. And I'll make sure that sheet's available for your download purposes to be able to have it. And you can use it as a sales tool, and you can use it as a tool to convince people that your results are mattering to the business, because they do, because you don't want them to take it lightly. And I'll never forget, this was literally, you can see October 4th, this particular offer ran. In preparation for this, I went into the Leesburg Diner and I personally asked the GM how many people redeemed the offer. And she told me, she shrugged her shoulders and said, I'm not sure. And I said, can you check? Because I know you track it on your POS, point of sale system. She went and checked. She came back to me. And at the time that I checked, the number was like 31 or 32, she said. I can't remember which, but it was 30 something. And she shrugged it off like there wasn't very many. I said, that's awesome. She's like, is it? I guess that's like 4 people per day, or whatever. And over the course of the last like 7 or 8 days that we ran the whole ad for, because we ran this for like a little over a week. And I'm like, she doesn't get it. The GM of the restaurant. Now the owner gets it because I've already showed them the sheet. But I had to talk her through what that could mean. But you see, the GMs and the non-decision makers of these businesses, they're not as invested and they don't care as much about the lifetime value of their customers, which is why service sucks in 90% of the restaurants you tend to walk into nowadays. So they got to get that fixed. Okay, what about a local salon? Here's an example of a local salon. I mean, what's the date today? The 19th. So we ran this because I knew I was coming here on the 16th. I wanted to run this so you could see when they happened this week, right? Now, I know that by the time you're watching this, it's whenever, right? It won't matter, but you can see that the results happen in a newly launched client. We were going for local exposure in target areas that aren't as familiar with the salon. We were not using this particular ad to generate emails yet. We will on the next campaign, but on this one, we gave an ultimate day of beauty giveaway. We're going to give away free haircuts for a year. That's going to be the big one where we collect emails. But in this case, we just did, get pampered for a day, basically, right? And we asked them to tag a friend, and share this post, and you'll be entered to win. That's their entry. So they have to tag, and enter it. And as of the time I took the screenshot of this post, we reached over 10,000 people already. This is the 19th, so we're approaching the end here. 100 new likes, 54 comments. For a salon that has like 1,300 likes to the page, they don't have very much buzz going on about the salon, and we're gonna try and get it to the next level. And you can see here 273 reactions to the post. Other giveaway examples, here's a restaurant giving away free brunch for a year. They were getting ready to launch brunch. They said, Joe, how do we promote brunch? Can we do an ad just telling people we have a brunch? I said, no, do an ad giving away free brunch for a year for somebody who wants brunch. And this is a restaurant in Lakeville, Minnesota, by the way. Lakeville, Minnesota is a town, a community of 39,000 people south of Minneapolis. And we reached over 102,000 people. Here's another one located in Minnesota, Jordan Supper Club. In Jordan, Minnesota, a small town outside of Minneapolis, in the middle of nowhere. We did the patio party giveaway, just like the one you saw for Parallel. The patio party giveaway also generated a lot of buzz. You see here's another one that Parallel Wine and Whiskey Bar did, one of our clients, that we got to give away another party. They didn't give away a patio party this time, they gave away a Monday night football party. It still reached 15,000 people. Now look at it close. How did the people enter? They didn't give their email in this case. They actually opted in for a text marketing campaign by texting the word Parallel to 51660, and they were entered in. They got, on this alone, they got over 250 new opt-in mobile text marketing patrons to opt into their text marketing program. And they're building that list on a weekly basis because they instituted text marketing into their program. Here's another one, free burgers for a year, 28,000 people. Here's a $50 gift card giveaway. So now you've seen lots of different examples. I'm going to kind of walk you through the steps to be able to do this on your own and in the future, because I kind of made it look really easy with all these different campaign examples. So let's stop here and let's go to the whiteboard. All right, so let's talk about how we generate 1,000 emails over a 3-day period with about $100 advertising spend. And what are the steps to doing that? So step one, and this is the most important step, and it's the step most people think they can do real fast, and that is you've got to come up with a mega giveaway. You got to come up with a really, really compelling offer. So you can call it a mega giveaway. This is a compelling offer, and it's got to be one that the value is perceived to be extremely high in the eyes of the consumer of the business that you're representing. So if it's a local organic dog food place, maybe it's free dog food for a year, where you'll give somebody a free bag of dog food every month for an entire year. So they never have to pay for dog food for the year. The cost to the store selling that dog food is probably around $10, maybe $20 per bag of dog food for a $55 cost of a 25-pound bag. And the reason why I'm using this as an example is I'm getting ready to introduce this to a local organic dog food store that is a new client of ours. And so that would be one example of what I would give away. If you're a restaurant, free breakfast for a year, free burgers for a year, something big. If you're an entertainment complex, or you're a place like a Chuck E. Cheese's, or you're a laser tag center, or you're a bowling alley and rec center, maybe it's free laser tag for a year. Maybe it's free birthday, have a free birthday party, which is like a $400 value to have, up to 10 or 20 kids in a birthday party with free pizzas and everything else. Something that somebody else would equate potentially even hundreds of dollars of value to. If you are a travel agency, free vacation, right? If you are, a ladies' boutique, maybe it's up to $500 shopping spree on their website to buy $500 worth of clothing online. Something that's massive, something that makes your client a little bit nauseous about. So it's got to make them take a couple steps back, and if they say you're crazy, you're onto something. If they say that that's too much, then you've found the perfect giveaway. If they say, I don't want to give away that, people will think we're crazy, or that costs too much, you're onto something now. That's what we're talking about. The biggest mistake I see with people with giving away, having contests and giveaways is their giveaway is crap or off-brand, right? I'm not going to go to the organic dog food store and tell them you need to give away a Target gift card for $100. Or why don't you give away $100 in Starbucks coffee? What do you mean? We're a dog food place. But that's what I see people doing. They're giving away iPads. I'm like, why are you giving away an iPad? You're a dog food place. Why are you giving away an iPad? You're a restaurant. Well, I'm trying to get people excited. Well, get them excited about the thing that they get excited about your brand for, right? If you're Ty Lopez, give away a free social media course. Right? Something that's $1,000 value. That's a big giveaway. He'd probably say, Joe, you're a little crazy, but he would understand. That's why we're here. So this is the most important step, is that you take the time to brainstorm with your team and with your client. It's hard to brainstorm this with your client because your client thinks too small. They don't understand this. I had one client, one of my team members emailed, it was a Mexican restaurant, still our client today. And they emailed, it's authentic Mexican food, and one of our team members emailed because I wanted to give, on National Taco Day, I wanted to give away free tacos for a year. And I said, tell them that we want to give away free tacos for a year. And that doesn't cost, if you think about it, how much does that really cost a restaurant? It's not that much. So Colt emails the restaurant owner. The restaurant owner wrote back. I wish I could find the emails and read it to you. It's hilarious. He says, you're crazy. We're not in the business of giving away food. We're in the business of selling food. Would you please, this is ridiculous. Do your job and help us get more people. You're not getting it. And so, and then I said, well, and he said, offer 10% off tacos or something stupid, like 10%. Like, who's going to get motivated for 10%? So I had to write a long email, lifetime value of the customer, what free tacos for a year for 4 people really costs his restaurant, reminding him of what food costs really are, and that his goal was building exposure and getting new people to come into his restaurant. And honestly, for people to say, this is a crazy awesome deal, and I want to refer it to my friends, because if let's say that I referred it to my friends, I know they're going to take me as one of the 4 people to go get free tacos. If I'm the one, if I tagged them, or if I shared it with them, and tagged their name in it, I'm going to be one of the 4 people they select to go get free tacos for a year. So I'm going to virally spread that. Once that clicked for him, he did it. We gave away free tacos for a year on National Taco Day, which was, I think, earlier this month here in October. So this is the most important part. you've got to have, even the salon, the new salon, they said, well, we're going to give away a free day of beauty. And I said, that's pretty good, but I want to give away free haircuts for a year or something that's mad. And they were like, what? I was like, yeah, free, let's do, how about we do the free beauty for a day with 4 or 3 of your friends? Now that's like a $1,200 value. And they went, okay, we'll do that next time. I said, we'll do it next time because we'll collect emails with that one. But you got to get them to think you're a little crazy to know if it's good or not. So that's the most important step. I'm spending a lot of time on it because remember I said clients pay you for? They pay you for results, but they're really paying you for ideas and execution of those ideas. So, and I've had this before. I had the Mexican gentleman, Guillermo. He says to me, I said, listen, you've been paying $600 a month for a social media agency to do a poor job for you for 6 months. Honestly, it's been a total waste. And it was true because he couldn't attest anybody coming in because of any Facebook advertising or Facebook marketing that he had done. And he said, so what I need from you, Joe, is ideas. I said, exactly. But you're not just going to pay me for the ideas. You're going to pay my team and me to execute it for you. So you can focus on good service and good food and let me focus on the good marketing. And for that, it's $1,500 a month. And you got a budget over $1,000 in advertising, which again, for smaller restaurant clients can make them choke a little bit, which is why I want to add, because you're going to need to budget somewhere around $500 to $1,200 maybe in advertising for a small local business to get results, because you got to spend some money to make the money. You got to find a local client that's big enough to absorb that. So anything over $1 million, they start to become big enough for a smaller ad budget, but you really want to target $2 million and above. Restaurants, there's lots of $2 million above restaurants. There's lots of retail stores that are doing $2 million above that want to get to that next level, and that's who you want to target and help. If you're targeting businesses that are strapped and hurting financially, you can still help them, but you're going to have to deal with their stress of spending their extra money on you in hopes that you'll deliver the results. Now, sometimes this can work to your advantage. I have a local restaurant near where I live that I went to. They couldn't afford my services. And I said, but I knew because the owner was also the chef. I knew the food was good. I read the reviews. And I said to them, I'll take a piece of your restaurant in exchange for my services. And they did it. They gave 20% of their business up in order for us to take over the restaurant. And at the time that we took over the restaurant, they were doing a measly $8,000 a week in sales, which is terrible. And in fact, my very first question to them was, when is your dead date? And they told me, so I knew I had them. But within 4 months, we tripled their sales to over $24,000, and about $4,000 of that per week was in catering. So all of a sudden, we have a $100,000 a month, now a $1 million restaurant that I got stake in. And then I told them at the end of the 90 days that they'd have to pay our agency as a client also are the profits of that restaurant. So I have a stake in it and it's a client. So there's opportunities like that we're going to get into in the sales module, but I wanted to tell you what's possible. It's got to be a big giveaway and it better be a good idea. Number 2 is you're going to design your post in canva.com. I showed you Canva earlier in the previous module on how to do a Facebook ad. Canva.com is genius because it allows you to size your images for all your social media outlets, Facebook, Instagram, and so forth. So you're going to design in Canva. Now, you might be an expert at Photoshop, and that's fine too. I find people who are experts in Photoshop using Canva because they find it to be so much simpler and faster and more efficient, but that's totally up to you. And they also have it on your phone, so sometimes you can do the posts on the fly on your phone. And by the way, you can go into the Apple Store. I don't know if anybody uses any other type of phone anymore, but if you go into the Apple Store, you can download the Canva app right onto your phone. You can download the Facebook Ads app right on your phone. You can run your ads from the app on your phone, although you can't run Instagram ads from the Facebook Ads app on your phone. Get all that? Okay. All right. So step 3, and oh, by the way, a couple things about step 2 here is that the image. This is where people go wrong sometimes. The image should be the prize. Okay, so if it's free breakfast for a year, I want to show breakfast. If it's free burgers for a year, I want to show a burger. Okay, temptation marketing, right? If it's free dog food for a year, I want to show dozens of bags of dog food, or at least a dozen, right? Because it's for a year. 12 bags of dog food, do a great photo shoot of it, and then you got it. And it looks like a huge giveaway. If I'm doing a birthday party, I need a picture of kids laughing and having fun around a birthday party table at the entertainment center that we're marketing to. If it's a free, maybe it's a free meeting room for a day at a corporate event center, then I need a great photo of that. So it has to be ideally what it is you're giving away. In the bow giveaway you saw, it was a picture of the hair bow, although I wanted to do a picture of like 50 of the hair bows, but she didn't have a picture of 50 of them to make it look massive. And then ideally you put the value in the image somewhere. So if you recall, and you can rewind and go back and look at this, but even in the free breakfast for a year, in the upper corner, it showed $670 value, in the upper corner. So it's subtly placed. In that free feast for four, it subtly showed that the value was like $470. So we're putting the value in the image, because the image is what people are going to see first. So you want them to see the text or the words giveaway, free breakfast for a year, that's number, or win free breakfast for a year. You want them to see the value of it as well, and then see what it is that they're getting. That's the secret to having a great image design. And you can go back in this module and rewind and look at all the commonalities that these images have. Because I had a client who sold Chicago-style sandwiches, who decided on their own, to run, and they were a coaching client. So we're working with them for a 2-month period for a few sessions, but they decided to run their own giveaway for these Chicago-style sandwiches. They're giving away free sandwiches for a year, which was our idea. Give away free sandwiches for a year. They did it. They put the picture of the sandwiches in the photo, but then in the middle of the photo, big giant letters was their logo. Okay, which is great for branding, crappy for a giveaway. Because the giveaway should have said, in the middle of the logo, it should have said, win free sandwiches for a year in that picture. Needless to say, that post for free sandwiches for a year did not reach as many people, and it only collected like 300 email addresses. It didn't go as well. Now, it's still looked at as a success to the client, but I know better. I know that if they would have ran that by us first, we would have been able to give them the green light on what would have worked for the image. In fact, when I met with her that following week, she said, your step 2, Joe, I did poorly. I know. I already know you're gonna ream me for not putting the value in the post, and I didn't put what the actual would win in the post, not in the post picture. And I said that's correct. So, and make sure to check the text on the Facebook image overlay tool. I gave you that link earlier in the module. Make sure you always check it before you post it. Step 3 is sign up. It's the only step that can be altered. Sign up for WooBox. Now, WooBox is $30 a month. Okay? And you're going to bill it to your client anyway. It's pass-through billing. In other words, you're going to tell your client that's an additional expense in addition to your services that they have to cover. Now, if you want to be gracious and cover it for them as part of your fee, go for it. I recommend that you pass it through. They don't mind paying for it for the results. Especially once you're starting to get them results, they're happy to pay for it. You can actually sign up to WooBox for free just to play around in it, but then it's $30 a month. And by the way, WooBox doesn't pay anything for me to refer them. I wish they would. In addition to WooBox, thanks Josh. Yeah. In addition to WooBox, you can use other services. You can use Constant Contact. You can use Aweber. You can use MailChimp. You can use other types of email capture, email software out there. What I have found, for example, when we tried using Constant Contact, that while Constant Contact would give us an embeddable form to put as a Facebook tab and link and integrate into Facebook, it didn't work on mobile phones. And this was just like a week ago. So even recently, Constant Contact integrated with Facebook does not work well on mobile devices. So we had people complaining. So now, if you're really tech savvy, there's other ways around this. You can build a landing page with lead pages and have the link take people to the exterior landing page And Woobox will do that as well as it'll build an inside Facebook built-in landing page inside of Facebook. I just found Woobox to be simple. Simple enough to where that if your client did leave you, or if you need to teach your client how to use Woobox because maybe they're paying you as a consultant, you could hand it off to them and it's self-explanatory. It doesn't take a lot to know it. If you're kind of new to email marketing anyway, and you don't want to have to spend time building a landing page and figuring out email software, Woobox just works. And it integrates with your Facebook page within seconds. It's really, really easy to use, and it's why I recommend it, because of the simplicity of it. And it's got a lot of other things you can do with Woobox. You can have coupons, and you can have your sweepstakes, but you can also you can poll your customers right inside of Facebook, and it collects all the data. It just has all these different features for doing marketing and promotions on Facebook. It's fantastic. Okay, number 4 is creating the offer. And I have here, once you've signed up for Woobox, so you're going to create your offer. And that's actually what it says. It's the sweepstakes button inside of Woobox, and then it says create offer. Create your offer. Now, that sounds simple, but this is where you've got to get the copy right. If you're using Woobox, it's going to prompt you for a headline. It's going to prompt you for a description. You're going to add in maybe some of your fine text in there, like, okay, it's free breakfast for a year, but it's once a month for a year. It's not every day you can have breakfast for a year. It's once a month for up to a year, 12 different times. Things like that, you're going to want to put some of your small fine print in. And you're going to create your form and landing page. I promise you this process, once you've got your copy thought up, takes literally a few minutes. This does not take hours to do. You can, from the 7 steps I'm going to take you through right now, literally you can do all of it inside of about 30 minutes, if not even faster for your clients. Step 5 is writing the copy. Is writing the post copy, that's how we'll call it. Is writing the post copy. The copy that will actually, it's probably going to be the copy you've taken from your offer, but it's going to be a little bit different, because as you've seen some commonalities where you're telling people how they can enter. Like this post and enter here to win. You might put like this post and tag and share it and enter here to win. I find that you don't want to give people too many things to do, or they won't do it. So I like to just keep it simple, like this post and enter to win, or like, share, and tag to enter to win. And so you're going to write the copy for the top of that post. And it's going to be similar to the examples you've seen here. It was very purposeful to show you all those examples first, so you could rewind and look at how we wrote some of those examples out, so you can know how to do it for yourself. Writing the post copy on the post. I'm not trying to shortcut it, because it is important that you get this part right. Because I've given you so many examples, there's no way that you can get it wrong. You're going to put the link inside there, and you're going to tell people what it is they're going to win, and you're going to tell them how to enter. Okay, and so this gets really easy. The next 2 steps. So number 6 is to publish and go live. Once you publish and go live inside of Woobox, your offer goes live, and then it's going to prompt. And then on Facebook, you can then do the next most important step, which is you can then get your ad set up for it. So that's step 7, is create the ad. And you're going to do this inside of Ad Manager. Remember, you're not going to boost the posts. You're going to create your Facebook ad campaign. Just like I showed you in the previous module, how to go through and create your own campaign. The only difference here is you're going to choose an existing post that's already been posted onto the feed, because you've published your post, you've gone live with it on Facebook. And I should maybe add that, on Facebook, okay? And you're now your post is out there, and organically you're going to get some people virally sharing this. You're going to get people liking it and sharing it. But you're then going to want to you're going to want to add the gasoline to the fire. So you're going to create the ad in the back end on Ad Manager. And there's really an 8th one, an 8th step. I call this the 7 steps, but the 8th step is to rinse and repeat. Because you can do this, that's an E. You can do this once a month for every single client that you have if your team and you are creative enough to come up with different ideas. Does it always have to be a giveaway? Can it be a contest where people are competing for something that they're still allowed to win? The answer is yes, and it's really comes down to your creativity to make this work. But these are the steps, and it's, I don't want you to make it more difficult than it is. Let's review them really quick. Most important step is to come up with a creative, massive, mega giveaway, we call it. Number 2, design it in Canva. Number 3, sign up for it in WooBox. Sign up for WooBox and get it set up in WooBox. Creating your offer in WooBox is number 4. Writing your post copy. Some of that copy will come from the offer that you created. That will go actually on the post that you'll then publish and go live with on Facebook. You'll then create the ad in Ad Manager. This process takes a little bit longer because you're going to have your target audience. You're gonna make it for 3 days. You're gonna spend $35 a day on the ad or whatever it might be that's been agreed to between you and your client. The reason why I say $35 a day over 3 days instead of $100 in 1 day is we found that performed better. So everything that we're doing has been methodical or been tested. And it's probably one of the reasons why I'm here is because we've already shown these results as you've seen in the previous examples. So don't try to recreate the wheel, just do it exactly as we're showing you and you will get results for your client. And then rinse and repeat every single month. And this, I'll end with thinking about helping you to think about the budget for your client, because that means $100 is being spent on this one ad campaign per month. That's not very much. I also budget about $100 per week per client for some type of offer or smaller offer, like the 20% off coupon, things like that, to run during the weeks of the month. So that's another $400. There's $500 right there in ad spend. And then I try to budget a minimum of $15 to $30 per day per post, even just a Facebook visual post to try and create engagement. There's nothing wrong with getting engagement because one of your challenges is to get word of mouth and more awareness for your clients, because that will ultimately lead to more customers. And if you're driving people to their website and you're getting more people added to their email list and you're using those tools to convert people into customers, you'll get results for your clients using these strategies. At the very least, you're going to get them a lot of emails in their database. So if they were to part with you for any reason whatsoever, you've left them with an asset that they can use forever. Thank you.